Robin Hood.
And Friar Tuck.
Okay, Tuck.
He's in it, thank you.
By the holy Hemmus and Bruno's Brickers, if this is not the finest piece of Saxon cow that e'er passed man's lips, why then my name is not Friar Bolton.
Foolish friar, thy name is Tuck, not Bolton.
Aye, Tuck it is. I knew this beef was off. Tuck I am, and thou, Robin Hood, my noble leader. Famed through Sherwood Forest's sylvan glades for his merry band of in-laws.
Outlaws, Tuck.
Outlaws, in-laws, outlaws, downlaws, it matters not when thou art as merry as I, for we know no laws. Marion! Another stoop of foaming mead to set my veins afire.
Oh, sylvan glades, is this the path of sage sobriety?
Another stoop, Marion.
Nay, thy bulky hulk has ta'en too much. Why, this is thy 30th stoop today.
I love the way she stoops. A fairer sight dares to greet these priestly eyes. Come, Robin! Quaff with me.
Quaff, quaff.
Quaff, quaff. For mead, ne'er maid, nor man, nor maid, morose nor melancholy.
Would you mind saying that again?
Couldn't bother. Another stoop, Marion, my dear.
Hey, Marion, staunch! No, this placid friar has stopped the surfeit of thy fiery foam. His drunken dribbling stain the forest's law. Cease, sottish Tuck.
I tuck a sot.
I tuck a sot.
I tuck a priest a sot.
I tuck a priest a sot.
I a sot.
I a sot.
A priest a sot. I no man lives that dare call Sire suck a sot. Sire suck a sot. Come, Rocky. Fight with me, and then we'll see who's sot or not.
I have no wish to fight you, fuddled friend.
Art fearful, Robin?
Fearful? I, Robin Hood?
Thy saucy pater thunder, thou knave! By the spleen of St. Amon!
Art now convinced, that foolish friar?
A lucky blow, no more. But now, let's test our skill with gut and bow, and see who has the truer shaft. A goodly shot, Robin, for thou hast cleaved the fiery eye of bull in twain.
A picturesque metaphor.
I thought you'd like that. But hist, mine own shall split thine in twain. Groan, guile for gut. Bend, sturdy you. Strain, saintly sinews. Sing, noble arrow, as you speed straight and true.
Oh, Marion, sweet Marion.
Oh.
Now seest thou, Tuck, what sottishness and drunkenness hath wrought.
Oh, Marion, thou shalt stoop no more. Never shall the fiery brew touch Tuck's lewd lips again, for I shall die with thee.
These horns belie the sheriff and his motley crew. We must away. To horse.
Farewell, Marion.
To horse.
Make haste. Save thyself, Robin. Save thyself. For these legs that once were as mighty as yon sturdy oak are now as frail aspens that shiver and shake at the zephyr's slightest breath. Or in other words, I'm stoned out of my mind again. Make haste, good Tuck.
To horse. To horse.
To horse yourself.
Up, Tuck, and away! The sheriff's horns draw nigh. Come, trusty trigger, go! Away to ventures new.
Oh dear, I think I'm going to be sick.
know, Tuck, sitting behind you like this makes me suddenly aware of how remarkably fat you've become. You ought to go on a diet.
Really?
You ever thought of popping along to the Sherwood Forest Health Club? It's a very good place.
Very good idea.
They've got all the equipment.
We'll soon whittle away thy extra power. Sir, it's here the Sherwood Forest Gymnasium.
Yes, sir, here.
I'm not here enrolling 3 of my merry men beneath these pined walls. Thank you very much. Here's the new Thank you. Ha, 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 ha. Little John, my old friend. My goodness, you've lost weight. Good to see you. Oh, you little John. Tom Tit as well.
What are we laughing at?
We're just about to put you in the vibrating machine.
I'll tell you a tale of yesteryear. Music maestro, please. I'll sing you the song of Alan a Dale. Come on, me boy. Come on, me merry man. Hit. This is the tale. This is the tale. This is the tale of Alan a Dale. Alan a Dale, Alan a Dale, of Alan a Dale. This is the tale. Oh, Alan a Dale, Alan a Dale, oh, Alan a Dale, yes, Alan a Dale. Oh, Alan a Dale, Alan a Dale, Alan a Dale. I'll tell you the tale. Tell us the tale of Alan a Dale. Oh, Alan a Dale.
There have been many famous names in the history of mankind.
Some are born great.
Some achieve greatness,
And some have greatness thrust upon,
of whom by no means few have served to serve the name of England's green and pleasant land.
But there is one whose claim to fame,
Why mention of his very name?
all other claims is put to shame.
So if you will hear of untold glory, gather round and listen to this story.
Alan a Dale. Alan
Herman Hermit's reports. Violence is very much in the air these days. What is the cause of violence? Why is it on the increase? In order to find out the answer to some of these questions, I spoke to some of the people who are directly involved. I talked first to a young man who is a convicted soccer hooligan. His name, Ted Steger. Ted, tell me, what drives you to this violence at football matches?
Well, I normally take my dad's Vauxhall or else I nick the nearest vehicle. Yeah, of course.
What I was meaning was, what are the causes of these fracas on the terraces in which you are involved?
Well, of course, now you're asking about the fracas on the terraces.
Yes,
well, I'll tell you straight off, I do not start the fighting myself.
You mean you are provoked?
I never retaliate unless provoked. Right? Take last Saturday, for instance. In the stand, I'm waiting for the football match to start. Very patient, quiet. A small, quiet, dangerous, Hitler-type bloke comes and stands beside me, blatantly flaunting a rosette, purporting to be representative of the visiting team of thugs who are about to sully the verdant pitch of the 11 good men and true of Stourbridge United.
This is your team, Stourbridge United?
Yes, S-T-O-U-B-R-O-D-G. We are the champions, Stourbridge!
I'm sure you are. And what did you do then?
Well, faced with this indisputable act of aggression, I done what any normal red-blooded supporter of Stourbridge would do. I asked him politely for a light, and while his hands were in his pockets, I laid one on him, didn't I? We are the champions!
So without this provocation, no violence would have occurred.
I mean, I never start fires, I only finish them.
Thank you, Ted Steger. I wonder if we can learn something about violence in human beings by studying violence in the animal kingdom. Professor Luboski, in his book on aggression, has pointed out through his experiments that spiders are often driven to fury by certain colors. For example, the blue bottom of a bluebottle fly will cause a spider to go mad with rage. Perhaps some crowd hostility towards the police can be explained in these terms. More likely it can't. Nevertheless, I spoke to Inspector Necker of the yard about it.
Well, you know, I think the only way we're going to be able to cope with this problem, and let's face it, it is a problem. It's a big problem, and we've got to face it, so let's face it fair and square in the face. If we're going to face this problem of the rising tide of crime and violence, I think we in the police have to be eternally vigilant. I think vigilance is the watchword here, because if we aren't vigilant, then we're not going to detect the crime. And if we don't detect the crime, we can't find out who did it. And after the vigilance, of course, comes in the digilance. We've got to be digilant, going round from house to house, searching the house, looking for fibres in the pockets, vacuum cleaning the bodies, you see, inspecting the teeth, seeing if the teeth tally with the bullets found in the corpse, this type of thing. Modern forensic medicine, plus watches, hovercraft, and sort of two-way radios, a wonderful aid to the police. But of course, even with all these modern aids, we still rely on you, the general public. We need you. Because without you, the general public, going out and actually committing the crimes, then there's nothing at all for us to do. Thank you. Good night.
Strong views from the police. I then decided to ask an ordinary member of the public her views on violence.
My husband Ronald is a manure spreader, and of course when he comes home, his clothes are very filthy, and he only has to come through the door, and I go, and I know he's about, and a couple of spoonfuls of your stuff in the wash make it come out beautiful and clean.
Don't I understand? I was asking you about violence, madam.
Oh yes, that's the one with the hole, isn't it? I can't tell it from butter.
Madam.
Thank you.
I then decided to give up speaking to ordinary members of the public, and I talked instead to Justin Honeyblade, one of London's leading male models who has strong views on the subject.
I'm quite convinced that violence is a product of frustration. I mean, if one is some sort of spirit in a boring, dismal job, then of course one's going to need an outlet and veer towards this violence thing. Sorry, Stephen. Shall I go? I think it's frightfully important that one finds a satisfying, meaningful, absolutely fulfilling type of work. Sorry, Johnny. Sorry. And then, of course, the whole problem never arises, does it?
Justin Honeyblade sees the answer in more creative outlets for young people. I spoke next to Mrs. Agnes Cladderwade, a lady magistrate of many years' experience.
I've been on the bench now for 40 years. And you know, whenever I have one of these strapping young thugs up before me, I feel an overwhelming desire to communicate, to get through to them. It seems so tragic to me to send one of these young, healthy boys down to a Borstal institution where they're only going to meet and rub shoulders with hardened criminals. So what I usually do is to sentence them to about 6 months light dusting round at my house. There's 2 of the lads now tizzing up the bedroom. I think it does them good, and I know it's getting me somewhere.
A worrying problem in some parts of the country is the undoubted increase in so-called senile delinquency. Old people, frustrated perhaps by their dismal and drab surroundings, are seeking excitement in a life of crime. I asked 2 such persons, the notorious Fred and Deirdre Nimble, what led them to this kind of antisocial activity.
Well, it's all the young people's fault, isn't it? I mean, we're only following their example. You see them wandering around, getting all the publicity, loads of money in their canary fashions and everything like that, smoking LSD. Well, it's high time the old people had a bit of fun, isn't it, Deirdre?
What?
I said, isn't it, Deirdre?
Oh, yes.
I mean, you're always reading about some young thug getting hold of an old lady, smashing her down and nicking her handbag. It's high time we nick their handbags, isn't it?
What?
Nick their handbags.
No, I haven't got any knickers in my handbag. I'm wearing both pair because it's rather chilly,
Yes,
isn't it?
of course it is, love. Very chilly. Forgive her, Eamon, but old Ironside's been a bit deaf in the last decade. She's not too well.
Oh, yes, I heard every word you said, mate.
She hears what she wants, let's face it. She hears what she wants.
I asked them to recount some of their latest crimes.
Oh, well, of course, the last big job we done was the Peckham Hospital tooth snatch. It was a classic crime. You remember that? Tooth snatch. We got information, you see, from other tea leaves in underworld contacts and that there was a sizable hoard of teeth out there. So we went down there disguised as outpatients, as invalids. I took along my crutch, you see my crutch there? Well, it's an exploding crutch. I only had to go boom, 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 and everybody's dead. It's just a wonderful weapon, isn't it? You just bang them away like that. Anyway, while Deirdre diverted the doctor's attention with one of her coughing spasms. So similar to the horrible noise you just made then, I made off with the teeth, and we got a sizable hoard, didn't it? Still got the teeth.
Still got some down my blouse, if you'd like to see any.
Still got plenty down her blouse, if you'd like to see.
I assured them that I had sufficient teeth myself already and wished this disgusting old couple a fond goodbye.
Goodbye, very, very nice talking to you.
Well, lovely to see you.
Here, shove over this.
We're ugly-looking people, but let me tell you people, they were the devil's children. Deirdre and Fred began their evil doings one Wednesday afternoon down Wilson Way. They stole some milk and then made off with some bread. Got clean away in a stolen wheelchair, thinking they were miles ahead. Upon reliable information, the police administration laid a deadly ambush. Deirdre and Fred were strolling by the dustbins when 2 of London's finest opened up on them. Deirdre
The lesson surely is plain. Crime and violence can never pay. Unless, of course, you happen to be making a TV film about it, like myself, in which case you get about 500 guineas. Good night.
And now we have pleasure in introducing the traffic.
Oh, traffic.
Traffic.
Thank you very much.
The traffic.
Change my mind. If I had to make the choice between the deafblind and the blind, I know just where my feet should go, and that's enough for me. So I turned around and knocked them down and walked across the city. And traveled very far when suddenly I saw 3 small ships sailing up towards a distant shore. So lighting up a cigarette, I followed embassy and found a secret cave. They had obviously stashed the but I got my pocket, even stuffed up my nose. When I between my head and toe. Got time to take your mind. And going higher above the clouds, I found a golden find. They got my treasure before the iron gate. Quickly rang the bell, hoping I hadn't come too late. And someone came along, told me not to waste my time. And when I asked him who he was, he said just look behind. I turned around and put it down when I had my bills today. When it just leaves the mouth there really. But I'm making fun before the night got time to think of mine. I'm going higher above the clouds. I'm trying to go as far.
All right, Dad? Okay. How are you feeling?
Oh, a bit tired, you know.
Are you in agony yet?
On the verge.
Oh, that's a very good sign, because agony is the body's way of telling you something.
Yeah, you're telling you you've had enough, isn't
No,
it?
Dad. Agony is telling you it's doing you good. The more agony you're in, the more good it's doing you.
How much longer we got up here?
Another 15 seconds rope work, Dad.
15 seconds. Oh, 5-4-6 factor!
Oh, and now we follow it up with a little toe touching to get our trapezoids moving. 1, 2, touch, touch. 1, 2, touch, touch. Now you have a go.
I can't get down there, Pete. Do you think you could touch my toes? I'll touch yours next time.
Well, it's not really getting the full benefit of the exercise, Dad, but as this is your first workout, I'll touch them this week. All right, 1, 2, touch, touch, 1, 2, touch, touch.
There, your knee's bent. That doesn't count.
Come on, let's go and have a sauna bath. That'll do you good.
Hold on, I want to rest a bit. I'm exhausted.
You see, the only way you're going to get physically fit, Dad, is through perseverance.
Oh, yeah, the perseverance physical culture method. Great.
What a wonderful man Percy was.
Yeah.
Mr. Universe 1912. Superb deltoids.
What amazing pectorals, too.
What amazing pectorals, Dad.
Yeah.
But even with a course like the perseverance course, you've got to be extremely careful. Because let's face it, the body is a very, very delicate instrument.
Right.
Remember what happened to Mr. Wainwright?
Tragic business.
A tragic business. He saw this advertisement, you see, which said,
tick off which parts of the body you wish to improve, you see. Do you want a chest like a barrel? If so, tick. Do you want legs that never tire? If so, tick. Do you want arms like rods of steel? If so, tick. Precisely. And it was 2 guineas for each part of the body. Now, Mr. Wainwright only had 4 guineas to spare.
Oh, yes, because he'd been off work for a fortnight with that carbuncle, hadn't he?
He had a very nasty carbuncle upon him, and so he wrote away for the 2 parts of the body he thought needed building up most, namely his extremely puny chest, for puny it was, Dad, and namely his very puny arms. So back come the brochure, and he exercised away for months on end, and eventually he built up this magnificent chest, just like a barrel, just like the advertisement said. Wonderful arms like length of steel they were. He had a superb, great big torso. But the tragic thing was that due to lack of funds, he had not built up the legs that never tire. With the result that one day he's running for a Green Line bus, and they snapped like twigs beneath him.
Terrible business, that.
A terrible business, Dad.
So I got a sauna now?
I think a sauna would be a very refreshing thing to do after such a wonderful workout, Dad.
It's through here.
It's through here, yes.
You know, the one thing I don't understand with a sauna is what it does for you, apart from making you hot, sweaty and uncomfortable.
The point of the sauna, Dad, is manifold. But mainly, it's to enable your pores to breathe. There you have an example of pores breathing, do you see? Breathing very nice. This is why nudists throw off their clothes to allow the oxygen to get to their pores and allow them to breathe.
I suppose that's why you get all that heavy breathing down the Sunny Glade nudist camp.
A possible explanation of this phenomenon, Dad. But even more important than the pores breathing and everything like that is the diet, because we intake so many poisons and starches into the system, you see.
Of course we do.
Of course we do.
Tease up, Pete.
Very humorous, Dad. You see, the less you eat, the healthier you get. And the more your mind begins to work. The less you eat, the more your mind works. And this explains why so many of the fakirs and swamis in India go on these prolonged fasts.
And on these prolonged nails, Pete.
They go on prolonged nails for mortification of the flesh, Dad.
Mortification of the flesh?
Mortification of the flesh, nothing more or less. And once they're sitting there mortifying their flesh as best as they can, they become aware of things they weren't aware of before.
Like how hungry they are.
Precisely, and the fact they're sitting on nails. But more than that, they become aware of great thoughts. They have transcendental thoughts. They glimpse God and think of wonderful new things. This is why you'll find throughout the annals of history, all the way down from Bertrand Russell to the tiny sheeted form of Gandhi, the great thinkers have tended to be rather skinny and meagre.
Thin people tend to have big brains.
This is right, Dad, yes.
Well, by that token, Twiggy should have one of the greatest minds in the Western world.
Well, rumour has it she is a contender for the brain of Britain 68.
I'm not a contender, Pete.
Ably guided by Justin Villeneuve, of course.
Certainly.
A shrewd business manager.
Of course, to take the whole point to its logical conclusion, God, who has the greatest mind of all, and God, who in his ineffable wisdom embraces us all with his mind,
and yes,
and everything, he must be thin as a rake.
He is thinner than a rake, Dad, hence the hymn, immortal, invisible. And this is why God is so hard to see, and why people go to such lengths to see him. This is why all these people are going over to India, you see, to study under the Maharishi Desad, out at his Transcendental Meditation Centre by the Ganges, you see. Many people, some of the world's greatest thinkers, Mia Farrow, along with pop luminaries, leading lights of the pop world, Donovan, Beach Boys, Beatles, that type of thing, are going over to that part of the world to try and get a glimpse of God. For example, when the Beatles arrived over there in Nepal...
when the Beatles arrived over there in Nepal, and the George and the John and the Ringo.
What do you mean?
Well, when the Beatles arrived over there in Nepal, and the John and the George and the Ringo.
No, they only arrived in Nepal. I've not heard of these other places you mentioned.
It's a joke, Pete.
Oh, I see, a play on words based on the Christian names of the Beatles, John, Paul, George and Ringo, adding the prefix n to make a somewhat ludicrous pun. An amusing sally, Dad, but scarcely germane to the rather serious discussion we have in hand about God at the moment.
My apologies for introducing such a flippant note into this one.
Apologies accepted, Dad, but don't do it again.
Point taken.
Shut up. Anyway, when they arrive there by the Ganges, you see, the Maharishi Desard comes over to them, the wonderful bearded mystic, and he hands them some flowers with a wonderful, warm, greeting giggle. Very similar to the noise Stu uttered, but slightly more warm and human and wonderful. And then he takes them off to their tent and comes over to them and whispers a mantra in their ears.
What's a mantra?
A mantra, Dad, is a secret word you've got to remember.
Remember, a mantra, remember. Here, what you hit me with that bunch of old twigs for?
This was to get your nerve ends tingling and to shut your face.
Oh,
A mantra is a very important thing which is geared to the individual psyche and personality traits of the undergoee. You see, they choose a word which suits everybody. The Maharishi chooses it, and then you say it to yourself endlessly, and you go into a trance and think transcendental great things using the 2/3 of the mind what are not used usually. You could do it now if we could choose a mantra for yourself.
Well, it makes you go calm, does it, when you repeat it?
Exactly. It makes you extremely calm and very sort of lucid.
Yeah.
So if you could choose one to suit your psyche, what kind of word would suit your psyche?
Word for me. Jane Russell.
Jane Russell might well be a very suitable mantra.
Yeah.
Right. Let your mind go blank.
Right.
Have you done it?
Oh, yeah.
Not a very difficult step for you, I imagine. Now your mind's blank. Repeat your mantra.
Jane Russell. Jane Russell. Is it supposed to make you go calm?
This is the desired effect, Dad, yes.
It's not working with me. I'm coming over all unnecessary.
What's that? He whispering a mantra to you?
No, he said it's the old,
how right he is. No course of physical training is complete without sensuous, sinuous beauties, dancing to amazing rhythms. So here with a steam medley of the very lovely Sauna Showstoppers. Thank you very much, the Sauna Showstoppers.
Here, Pete, I thought of another mantra that won't work. Sauna Showstoppers. Sauna Showstoppers.
We'll be back with more disgusting filth in just a moment.
Sauna Showstoppers.
On the Dudley Moore Trio, who are playing Lillian Lust from the film Bedazzled. Over to Dudley Moore.
Thank you, Gaddis. Hello, Sir Charles. Yes, £1 million. That's my final offer. I'm sorry, I can't go any higher. £1 million. Take it or leave it. Very well. £1 million, 1 and 11pence. We've got a deal. Operator, would you get me New York, please? No, on the telephone. I don't want to buy it. Thanks. Will you call me when you've got a line? Yes, it's very urgent. Thank you. Come in.
Hello, Father.
What was that?
I said hello.
No, you said something after that. You said hello something or other.
I said hello, Father.
Hello, Father. Oh, you must be, Edward, my son. How are you? What can I do for you?
I've come to say goodbye.
Oh, I thought you just came in to say hello. You came in and said hello, Father.
That's right. I came in to say hello and follow that up with goodbye. I'm off.
I see. Well, goodbye. Nice to meet you. Hope you're doing well. Edward, just before you leave, is there any particular reason for your going so suddenly? I mean, you've been with us a long time, haven't you?
25 years, to be exact, Father.
25 years. This is as long as that. My goodness, it seems like yesterday you were just a toddler.
Seems like 25 years to me that I've been cooped up in this rotten place. I might as well not exist as far as you're concerned. Well, I've had enough. I'm going away. I'm off. And I'm going to get married.
Going to get married, are you, Edward? Don't you remember me telling you, never get married before you're 30 years old?
Well, maybe that's the precise reason why I'm getting married at the age of 25.
Oh, I see. It's a sort of rebellion thing, you see.
Sort of rebellion,
Sort of rebellion against me and
that's
everything
right,
I stand
yeah.
for. Yes. Why are you talking in this rather extraordinary working-class accent?
Because I can't stand the way you talk, you upper-class git.
Ah, the rebellion thing all over again.
Yeah, that's right.
Didn't you used to be a lot taller?
Yeah, I used to be 6'4". But as I can't stand tall upper-class gits, I went on a crash diet and got myself down to 5-0.
Goodness me, this reminds me of me when I was your age. My father was 5'1". I couldn't stand the way he looked, anything about him. Got myself stretched up to 6'2". You're a regular chip off the old block. Have a brandy before you go. Go on.
Thank you.
Have a brandy.
I don't want anything you have to give me, Father.
I like your spirit, son. I'll let you know, laddie, the only thing I've ever wanted is for you to be completely happy.
Yeah, that's twice, all of that. Yeah.
It's true, Edward. It's true. I'm sorry it's taken 25 years to get across to you, but it's true nonetheless. You know, I sometimes feel that as a father, I may have tended to be a little bit remote at times.
You're very good with the telephone, now, aren't you, Father? Very good with that.
I'm very good with the telephone, Edward. Very good with that, very good with business. But when it comes to matters more delicate, such as human...
Feelings, Father? That the word you're groping for?
Human feelings, yes. I'm not quite so good as those, but if you found some young girl and you're in love with her and you're going to get married, well, I just hope you'll be very happy.
Yeah, I wish I could believe that, Father. I really do. Honestly.
That my call from New York. Cancel it, would you, please? I've got something more important to do. Thank you. You can believe it, Edward, because it's true.
But they wanted you on the blower, Father.
On the what?
On the telephone.
I told them I had something very much more important to do, Edward, concerning you. Namely, that if you're setting out on the rocky road to matrimony, I'd very much like to meet this young girl.
Well, I mean, if I thought there was any point in bringing her up, I would have done so, wouldn't I?
There is a point, Edward, because if you bring her up, I can meet her. If you don't bring her up, I can't meet her. I'd like to meet her, so if you'd bring her up, I could meet her.
You really want to meet her?
I'd really like to meet her, Edward. Is she...
Downstairs, yeah.
Good lad. Gaddis, would you show the young lady up, please? Thank you.
Thelma, darling, this is Father. Father, this is Thelma, my fiancée.
How do you do? Is there any chance at all I could have a peek at her, look into the box at all?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mind how you go.
Thank you very much, Edward. Hello? Thelma?
How are you?
Helma, darling, would you put the torch on?
Thank you very much. That's much better. Are you keeping? Lovely weather we've been having. This sun is doing a lot of good for the wheat. So I'm told in any case. Well, I'm sure you've got lots of things to get on with in there. I won't take up any more of your valuable time. Very nice to see you. Good. Well, Edward, my lad, I think you've done very well for yourself. She's a beautiful little thing.
I think she's an absolute sweetie.
Terribly nice. She seems very quiet.
She's a bit, shy, sensitive, that sort of thing.
I think it's so much better to have a quiet little wife who knows her place in the house rather than one of these awful neurotic screaming ratbags who goes on shouting about women's rights the whole time. You know what I mean?
Couldn't agree more.
What about the wedding? What arrangements have you made?
A very quiet wedding, I think,
Going to have the vicar lowered in the top, are you?
Yes, I think so.
Reverend Spendle's awfully good belly. You thought about the honeymoon at all? Got yourself a double box made? Hey? I like your style. There's just one thing before you two. Young lovebirds dash away into the night. It'd be awfully nice if Thelma could have a word with your mother.
Do you think Mummy would like to see her?
I think they get on like a house on fire. Gaddis, show my wife in, would you please? Here's a good fellow. Oh, cheers. Martita, my darling, come along in. Here we are. Kiss your mother, Edward, would you?
No, Mummy.
Martita, this is Thelma. Thelma, this is Martita. I think we might as well leave the little ladies to have a bit of a chin wag, up there. I'm glad you got rid of that ghastly accent. It never really suited you,
Ladies and gentlemen, we go over to the sauna bath, where we join Julie Driscoll and the Brown Auger Trinity.
When I look out my window, many sights to see. When I look inside my window, so many different people to be. And it's strange, mighty strange. You've got to pick up every stitch. You've got to pick up every stitch. You've got to pick up every stitch. Oh no, my feet are freezing off the winch. My feet are freezing off the winch. My feet are freezing off the
was in the park the other day, you know, just admiring the greenery and listening to the birds singing. Suddenly this enormous dog come up to me, about 5 foot long it was, with great bristling hair and very outstanding eyeballs, grabbed hold of my leg, pulled me into Marlene Dietrich's sitting room. We sat down, had a few drinks, one thing led to another, and she kicked me out on the ear.
Really?
No, it didn't happen like that. You must have had some interesting experiences with all your times in the East India Line, eh?
Oh, no.
Yes, you must have had some wonderful times sailing round the Horn single-handed with those 15 women aboard.
No. Yeah, I think it's time for a cup of tea, isn't it?
Really?
Now it's the time to yield a sigh.
Oh, yield that sensuous sigh, baby doll.
Thank you. Now it's the time to wend our way until we meet again some sunny day. Goodbye, goodbye, we're leaving you singing on the goodbye. Wish you
We'd like to thank very much our guests, Julie Driscoll and the Brown Auger Trinity, also the traffic, not to mention Edith Lynn, who did so much to make all the makeup on our knees so very successful. I've never seen better knee makeup in my life.
Goodbye, goodbye,